that, we became aware of a project out of La Crosse by Dr. Baumgartner and his wife, and they were very involved in the Sister City program between La Crosse and the Soviet Union, and had, I think, traveled there themselves, and somehow came up with this idea of floating lanterns for peace against the worldwide movement toward nuclear weapons, because of their work with the Soviet Union and that heightened awareness during the Cold War that there could be another nuclear war. And then they linked it with the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. About 8 years ago, we began the Lanterns for Peace events at the Governor Dodge Park.
Obon is a Buddhist ceremony which probably dates from the 6th or 7th century AD, is a great homecoming for people. They come back to the place from which they came, and they there remember those who from that place went before them. Most villages in Japan are on some body of moving water, and so they go to those areas and they build little lanterns of a variety of sorts and set them afloat. And the festival is called by a number of names, but though it is always known as Obon, but in general it's known as the Festival of Those Who Have Gone Before. And it's a time for a reflection and consideration of how those people in other days and under other circumstances contributed to the lives that individuals now lead. There is very little sense in Japanese culture of in historical traditional culture in planning for the future, but there's a good deal of focus on reflecting on the past as a kind of orientation for the future. Very little sense that one can shape the future, but more a sense that one's future is shaped by the past, and so there's this backward-looking kind of a situation, which I think in many ways is we have a kind of shared notion then in the Lanterns for Peace, in that much of what we have done historically has been to look back. It's been retrospective. We think of Nagasaki, we think of Hiroshima, we think of those acts of military involvement and violence that have shaped our present world, and that is really the Obon side of the thing. But we're giving increasing attention, have been over the last few years anyway, to how might that experience shape what we do into the future.
Peace movements normally tend to be anti-war movements, which I'm not criticizing. We need to be against most wars, but to celebrate the positive aspects of peace, to see the beauty of peace, I think this kind of event is really essential. The beauty of the lanterns floating on the lake at twilight, of children expressing their peace sentiments on the lanterns, the laughter of people, poetry, music, and play. It gives a kind of a microcosm, what a world at peace could be like, a world without the nuclear threat.
It means sharing our visions of peace for the future, way beyond the commemoration of the tragic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It's a gathering of kindred spirits, souls, friends who share in the same kind of vision, and maybe new people that we meet as well, who want to reflect on how we can proceed in this crazy new age that we're in toward achieving some level of clarity in our worldview and our culture and so on, and especially we've got to have peace in order to do that.
The impact comes with the movement of the group from where they were, with the lanterns, and the young people putting it together, and the oldsters and the youngsters assembling Brian's long line. That level of community building is far more profound at that point than anything that's gone on up under the shelter. People begin to somehow join together, and when they reach the beach and begin to set these It's just breathtaking.